Live from the heart of America, I'm Steve Gruber, ready to deliver an inclusive and diverse discussion on the most important topics of the day, giving you better analysis and insight than anyone else, period. Shining a spotlight on the cockroaches running around in the swamp, delivering truth and justice just when you thought hope was starting to fade. Here are three big things you need to know to start your day today. Number one, the transgender train wreck has taken 2 corporate casualties this week, and now 3. First it was Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch. Then it was Nike, and now it's Jack Daniels. Seriously, enough. Number 2, NPR is outraged after Twitter labels the far-left outlet as state-affiliated media, right along with platforms like RT and others. They say it's not fair. Too bad. Number 3, Donald Trump's poll numbers are soaring in matchups against Joe Biden. In fact, Rasmussen shows since the news of the indictment came out, Trump has gone from a 3-point deficit to a commanding 7-point lead. Pretty remarkable, actually. The poll came out at the same time, on the same day that Trump was indicted in a Manhattan courtroom on a ridiculous scheme accusing him of 34 felonies for giving Stormy Daniels a $130,000 payment for a non-disclosure agreement over an alleged one-night stand that she said actually never happened. But it seems America is rejecting the whole notion of a two-tier justice system, one where anything Trump or Republicans do is a crime, and at the same time, anything that Joe Biden and the Democrats do can never be a crime. Yeah, that's where we find ourselves in the spring of 2023. We live in a world where up is down, down is up, right is wrong, and anyone who speaks up against it is a domestic terrorist. We're told open borders are secure. Men are selling sports bras for Nike, for women. Inflation is good for the economy. Words are violence. The freedom of speech is a threat to democracy. Welfare is encouraged. Work is based on white privilege. Burning down cities is fine if you're doing it for the right reasons, by the way. Torching thousands of pounds of toxic chemicals is safe, but driving to work will kill the planet. Banning pornographic books in elementary school is an affront to the First Amendment, but canceling conservatives is the morally correct thing to do. Abortion? It promotes life. Mutilating children's genitals is health care. Working hard and creating wealth is evil, but collecting government checks is lauded. Where China can fly spy balloons over America, but seeing Hunter Biden's laptop is an invasion of privacy, that's where we are. Where statues of Americans must be torn down, but reverence for Che Guevara is good. Funding Ukraine for another proxy war is terrific, while China gears up for war and our soldiers are practicing using the correct pronouns. And of course, smoking weed is good for you, but smoking cigarettes will kill you and your kids. Stop it! For the love of God, just stop. I'm not going to sit here anymore and listen to this ridiculous blather. We're better than this. We are, and everyone knows it. I'm not willing to allow all the insanity to go unchallenged. I am not endorsing violence, but I am demanding that like-minded, sane people speak up everywhere all the time. Don't just sit there quietly because you're afraid that something might be said to you. Start shaming people and pointing out that letting the children dictate their feelings to us and therefore telling us how to run things they don't even understand just might get us all killed in a war. Why? Because it makes us weak. Sitting in the dark is not superior to using fossil fuels. Bulldozing our power plants while China builds a new coal-fired power plant every 12 days is not prudent. It's suicide. Allowing 100,000 Americans to be poisoned by fentanyl this year and not calling it an act of war by China, Mexico, and the drug cartels is not taking the high road. It's taking the shortest route to the graveyard. Declaring everything under the sun a human right doesn't make it true. It makes people believe they are entitled to the fruits of your labor. And to be clear, they are not. You are not entitled to what I have worked for, or inherited, or bartered for. And I'm not entitled to what is yours either. I'm not. Just because the government says it's legal doesn't mean it's not stealing, because it almost certainly is. Remember, my friends, quite clearly, it was illegal to be Jewish in Germany in 1935. That certainly wasn't right. Keep that in mind when you evaluate who's telling you what is right and what is wrong. You can always tell who a tyrant is by who you're not allowed to criticize or question. Here's my point. I will never ask another man or woman to work and sacrifice for me, nor will I bend my knee to demands that I do that for others. Working hard and earning wealth is not greedy. It's not selfish. It is morally correct. And it is my duty to provide for myself and my family and then anyone else I deem worthy, not the government. It's yours too, by the way. It's your duty. It is not for the government to decide, period. I don't owe you anything. Neither does this country. And you don't owe me anything either, by the way, and you never will. No matter how dire my life may ever become, I have made my choices, my decisions. That's on me, not on you. I am not a victim. And no, I don't have any special privilege, except to work 16 hours a day, as I usually do, and try to earn the best living I can and provide for my family the best I can. That's the privilege that I have. You're welcome to do the same. I'm tired of the ridiculous double standards, the whole victimhood mentality, and the people that think that because they were born, the world owes them a house, a meal, a car, a phone, and of course, lots and lots of entertainment. The world owes you and them and me the same thing. Nothing. Sorry, but sitting on your ass pontificating about things you don't understand and cannot explain because you saw it on TikTok does not entitle you to the things that I have earned. You may come and take those things in the name of the greater good, in the name of the government, but the government has almost never delivered the greater good, and again, even if it's legal, it's still stealing. The government will declare they built a bridge or a road, but they never tell you what would have been built by private hands if those resources had remained with them. What would private enterprise and great minds have created? Sadly, we will never find out. Andrew Carnegie built thousands of libraries with his private money. Henry Ford built an industry and a nation. Cornelius Vanderbilt built Grand Central Station, and John Rockefeller built an American energy empire. Not a dime of government money to be found there. Not anywhere. So pardon me if I've had all I can take of the self-important, self-entitled, ignorant little snot-nosed brats that think America is unfair unless they get a monthly check. As far as I'm concerned, they can starve. Oh, and how about the insanity we're dealing with each day? Try this on for size. We've got a couple of things we're going to get to, but this whole insanity of, hey, womanhood is nothing more than a costume. Being a woman is a lot more than what you wear. It's a lot more than a costume. Let me be clear about that. I'm going to hold that until after the break, because I'm just getting warmed up. There's a couple of things you need to see to understand exactly how insane things are today and why you need to speak up and why you need to not sit on your hands and say, oh, I don't want to offend anybody. Why not? They offend you every day, don't they? By the things they say and the things that they do and the things that they demand. Well, then speak up. Be heard. It's the Steve Gruber Show. I'll be back.